What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today, I just want to speak about 8 features in Raid that I feel really need to change, or they're just outdated and need to be dated for the current place of this game. Now, I'm not going to sit and rant about these things or get angry or flip my chairs or anything like that. I just want to give my constructive criticism of what I believe needs to change in regards to these specific things. Now, in the comment section below, if you've got any constructive stuff to say as well, I'll be looking out for those to see how you would change these things, or maybe some that I may have missed out on the list or overlooked. So let's get straight into number 1, and it's going to be energy cap. Now, I don't think that this is spoken about enough in the community, or maybe it is and I've just missed it. But we've had the implementation of the Iron Twins Fortress, right? Which has a 20 energy for stage 15. And that's a lot of energy when you consider a 130 cap if you're kind of using your energy and waiting for your refills as a free-to-play player. And then we've also been given the news regarding a new dungeon with Al-Naemeh to farm the oils, and that's also gonna need energy cost. And this 130, where before we was just farming Fire Knight, Dragon, Spiders and Ice Golem, is actually starting to put ourselves in a position of not having enough energy in the day to be able to participate in all of these activities. Am I saying that they need to put 1,000 energy on the cap? No. I just feel like it should at least be boosted a little bit, like 180, 200, like at the very least, so players can actually go in and farm some extra stuff without having to spend money all of the time on energy packs, gems and all of that stuff there. So yeah, I feel like energy cost is a very big problem in this game, and I'm starting to feel it even though that I usually have enough gems to buy out these energy things. And not even just dungeons, guys. If you think about the amount of fusions we have nowadays, in comparison to like 2 years ago, is astronomical. So being able to participate in these fusions and consistently always do these events, like drop frenzies and all of this stuff, this really does need an increase, even for the people that do spend, so they get the value of what they're farming every single day. If you're increasing the content, you need to increase this daily cap, and in my personal opinion, that really does need to change. So number 2 is actually going to be fun events and not recycled events. Now, what do I mean about this? I'm pretty sure that many of you guys know what a summon rush is, you know what a champion training is, you know what a dungeon divers is. And if stuff is like Halloween, Easter, Christmas, give us some sort of special events like there is in other games out there where the players can feel involved to do something every single day to feel festive in those periods. Now, am I saying to do this throughout the entire year? Nope. But at the very least, over the festive periods, you need to give players something to be excited about that's not just images to see on these events, whether it be some cake, an Easter egg, a snowman, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of bored of doing the same stuff every single day, like Fire Knight, Ice Golem. Now, they did kind of dabble in faction-only tournaments, which I thought was pretty cool. But the rewards are exactly the same, guys. And there's nothing that entices me, like 500 of this soul coins or 50 gems, an epic tome. Don't get me wrong, the tomes are great because they're so hard to get in this game. But they shouldn't be that hard to get in this game anyway. So, I don't know, do you guys agree with that one? And if so, what kind of ways would you like them to change it? For me, I would say for Halloween, or even like Christmas, have an advent calendar where players can sign in for 30 days, right? You've got something like this in your game already with the daily login rewards. You could have a separate one. Instead of a Ronda chase, which I think is cool by the way, have a Christmas chase, a Christmas advent calendar, and every single day you can sign in, but players have to do something in the game to be able to get their rewards, right? And I think that would be pretty cool. I really do. Like maybe give a special, a snowman thing which you can use to rank up champions or unlock a new thing in the game. I don't know. Or like a skin at the end. Just something to entice players to get excited over these festive periods, I think is definitely needed in a game like Raid. Now, I'm sure that they will dress up the Bastion for Christmas, which they usually do, but we have to just wait and see for that in the near future. But in terms of special events, new events, making new spins on events to keep it fresh, is something we definitely need in this game. That will kind of lead into my next thing, and that's going to be the book situation. Now, in terms of books, yes, in the Doom Tower, we can get some books, right? We get legendary skill tomes along the heart. I'm not sure about normal. How many do we get here? I believe you can get epic tomes. Let's see how many we can get from here. So we get 1, we get 2, 3. 3 epic skill tomes and a bunch of Legos from the Doom Tower. Your Al-Naemeh clan boss, obviously you guys should be doing this every single day because this gives us books. But there's the RNG element once again. Hydra boss we don't get books from. I just feel like there's not enough places in this game for us to get books, and at the very least, I know it's just me thinking out the box, but it shouldn't be thinking out the box in a sense. I feel like there should be a place in the game where we can farm book fragments, okay? At the very least. Like, you see how we get drop rates in dungeons for... Where is it? Is it in here? So we get... Oh, let me just move my mug off the screen for a second. So we get mystery shards, we get brews, we get silver, we get ancient tomes. We should be able to farm fragments for skill tomes as random drop rates in the dungeons. And that will be my constructive feedback on this. And one way that I feel it could be easily implemented. And they've already got the fragment system in this game, right? We can go into the forge here, or the portal. Just have a separate tab over here that says book fragments, and allow us to collect these shards no matter how long they take. It might take a month to get 2 legendary skill tomes. But give us, if you don't want to increase the energy cap, give us some sort of resource in return to make our energy value more valuable. And I feel like even if it's a 5% or a 10% chance to get 5 fragments for a tome, it gives us more of an enticing feeling when we're going into these dungeons to get excited about, ooh, I might get some fragments towards something here. And I'm not talking about an outright swap for gear, like sometimes you see with the ancient shards. I'm talking about an addition to stuff that we're already getting from these dungeons. And I feel like for an endgame play or early game, mid game, this would be a really fun thing to have, right? Because we've got nowhere else in this game to farm books unless you're spending money, apart from those specific scenarios, or buying them from like the bazaar shops. So yeah, I really feel like we need to add a value to those books in this game, because we're getting fusions every single day, guys, pretty much. And let me know if you feel like this as well. We get these champions, but we don't have the books to optimize the champions, and then we don't have places to go and get the books for the champions without waiting 3 months from the Al-Naemeh clan boss. So I'd say more from a free-to-play perspective, definitely needs to change in this game. Alright, so next one is actually going to be somewhere in the Guardian Ring, or 2 places. The first one is going to be the token trader. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but did they not say that this would be on a rotation when they first released it? Now, this has been sitting here for ages. I actually did get a Tomb Lord, which I don't regret in hindsight. I use them in a lot of places. But this needs to be switching around, or during festive periods, put Sir Nicholas up for 2,000, right? During Halloween, put a Brachus or a Harvest Jack in there. Like, it's just some simple stuff that needs to happen. Or even just like a full recycle of new champions. So if somebody doesn't have an Underpriest Brogni, they can get their Underpriest Brogni. But at the cost, like, this is not cheap, guys. This is a lot of champions that you need to unbind to get these ones. And I'm not sure why they wouldn't rotate it to keep it fresh. So not much to speak about this. Just a rotation PLARIUM would be a great addition here. Now, some of you guys may be thinking, how are you 3 years into this game and you have not even unlocked a level 1 sparring pit? The reason being is, I don't like the format, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but every single time that you want to level up a champion, you have to manually click that champion. And for me, if you're investing thousands of gems, right? You should not have to be going in here and manually clicking every single champion to rank them up. Especially at max level. Now, if they want to say on the lower levels, you have to do it, fair enough. You got me PLARIUM, all right? But if players are investing thousands of gems, they're getting to level 3 on every single one, no matter how long it takes, a week, a month, 2 years, 50 years, I don't care what it is, The champions that you put in here should be able to get taken to max level just by sitting in here every single hour. All right. And I just feel like that's something that needs to happen, guys. It's a long-term investment for you to get that champion 260. So just allow them to just rank up over time. So when you're asleep, you don't have to wake up every hour to manually click this thing. You know what I mean? So that would kind of be my main takeaway from this one, is I feel like it's outdated in a way that this performs. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is going to be fragment champions. Now, am I against fragments in this game? No. I think they're an amazing addition for fusions because they're much easier to attain than the traditional style ones, like usually anyway, because you don't have to farm up a bunch of champions, spirit pots and all of that stuff. But in comparison to older fusions that's just sitting here, clogging up space, confusing early to mid game players, or just annoying the end game players, can you imagine a new player coming into the game and seeing these champions that's come out in the past, right? I'm thinking, how on earth do I get these people? And it must be so confusing. Now, if they've got no way to actually attain them through events or tournaments, get them out, Raid, in my opinion. Get them out, stop confusing the player base, or at the very least, very least, if somebody has completed a fusion, like I did Rorik Wormbane, right? I did some of these other ones, of course, like Nari the Lucky, Walking Tomb Dreng. Get them out, because we're not going to be spending money or £100 to fill up fragments to get them again. Being completely honest, guys, right? Are you going to do that? If you manage to get 10 extra fragments during those fragment events, try and tell me you're going to spend all of that money to get another 90 fragments to get a dupe. Because I don't think you are, guys. So if you've done them, get them out. If they're a past fusion, get them out. Unless you're planning to launch new events to attain these fragments in other ways, right? And I'm not talking 5 fragments for a top of a leaderboard. I'm talking about stuff that you'll see every single day, and implement a universal fragment system where players can put their fragments into any of the past fusions and fill up the ones that they haven't done, instead of throwing particular ones that people might not care about. So that would be my takeaway on the fragments in this game. That needs to change. And the next place would actually be Tag Team Arena. Now, I'm sure many of you guys know how I feel about this. I'm not a fan. I've got to like gold, like 2 or 3 in the past, but I just dropped down due to inactivity, because you have to do 10 battles a week to be able to hold your position at the very least. That's not my issue here, though. If you want to do it, you do. If you don't, you don't. But in general, yes, this game mode needs to change. It's trash, in my opinion. There's nothing to incentivize people to go to gold 4 in this game like there is for Platinum Arena, right? This should be an endgame thing. 2,500 player limit is very, like, a low amount in comparison to the mass player base. Give players a sense of, like, accomplishment for being able to hold this limit here of gold 4 in this arena. Give them avatars. Give them, like, extra, I don't know, skins or something to show that they are holding that position in the highest stage of the tag team arena. Like, for me, PvP is a competitive place in this game. You need to be rewarding the top players as actually farming this on a daily basis and make them feel rewarded. And not just in there to get CVC points. Because for me, that's kind of what players are in there for nowadays. So I would love that to change one day. And now we're down to the final 2 things. It's going to be the Great Hall. And with the Great Hall development, yes, it's an amazing place to farm. Farm this until you've maxed it. But once you've maxed it, guys, you sit with a bunch of gold bars that's just sitting there, and these endgame players are stuck with thousands of them thinking, what on earth do I do with these? Simple fix. Allow players to convert them into clan gold or bazaar shop coins for the tag team arena. How hard is that? Transfer them into gold bars, let them buy a couple of sacred shards. They'll be broke by the end of the week, right? But it's a way that they can actually transfer those coins into that, or at the very least, give them something else to farm. I'm not sure what yet, but there needs to be something for the endgame players still participating in the arena, so they've got that sense of accomplishment or something to strive for, not just a platinum avatar, right? There needs to be something for endgame players to actually enjoy in this PvP game mode. Because there's so many players out there that I believe do have a max Great Hall. Obviously not the vast majority, it's definitely the minority. But you need to be catering to all players, in my personal opinion. Okay, so the final place is going to be the marketplace. Now, this thing has not changed since I've started 3 years ago. And I'm sick of just buying a mystery shard, honestly. And 4-star common gear. It's terrible. Now, the best thing out of this will be the 5 ancient shards a month, right? And maybe an Omega or some other uncommon champions to book them up for free. But with the implementation of Forge, put some of the Forge pieces in their raid, right? You have got a marketplace that people can go in and spend silver, by the way. Up the price, we don't care, but give the option to buy legendary gear, 6-star epic gear. Maybe the same way that you do 5 ancients a month, put 5 chaos aura in there a month. But there needs to be some form of like wanting to go in here and get excited of, ooh, what do we get today? Or entice players to potentially click this 5 gems down here. Clicking this for me right now is just going to give me another mystery shard. And it's 5 gems worth 2 mystery shards? Hell no, I tell you that much. But you guys let me know, what would you like to see in here constructively? Not like, well, actually, yeah, I actually think a sacred shard should be in here. Once a month, why not? Right? Put it in there for like a couple million silver. If players want to buy it, yes. If not, okay, whatever. But once a month for a sacred shard, with a cost value, by the way, I don't think it's too much to ask for, in my opinion. Honestly. Because it entices players to go in, use resources, to go and farm other places, to get the silver, to actually buy the stuff in the shop. So it's not like you're giving it away for free, right? And it just gives people that feeling of, yes, I want to go in the marketplace. I want to see some screenshots. What did you guys get? Maybe a savage piece or a skin, or just make it exciting and not a mystery shard thing that you use to do your quests every day. Like buy an item in the shop to get some energy refills. But yeah, guys, I hope that didn't sound like a rant today. That wasn't my idea for this video. I just wanted to speak about those 8 things that I feel really need to have a kind of like a facelift for this game is probably the best way to put it. If there's anything else in this game you guys feel like really needs to change, let me know in the comment section below. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.